This podcast is a part of the Royal We Network.
Spit on me.
All right, well, I'm back. I'm back from my journey.
Yeah, Frodo.
There and back. It's funny. I just watched Lord of the Rings with my girlfriend, so now I'm just Samwise there. She's like, "Oh, Mr. Sam. Oh, tell me more about Sam." Well, last week I listened back to it. It was pretty good, but let's stick to the formula this time. What do you think? What do you say, buddy?
Yeah. I think we learned a lesson that we need some kind of format. I mean, it was a good time, but we need to get back on the wagon.
There was a couple times where we're like, and so I mean, let's just do a banter-free session. I mean, we might go on some tangents in the middle here, but welcome to another episode of the Royal We. I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
What we normally do, if you're joining us for the first time, is we take headlines and we read them, but we do not read the articles because facts just get in the way. Yeah. We then just have like a conjecture-based conversation. What's this? What's that? What could this mean? Woo! If you want to send us headlines, you guys can do that at Royal WeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. Let's get right into it.
Do it.
We do have a couple fans submitted. I'm going to break off those in here in a second, but there's a couple things that we've talked about before. There's a lot of really weird stuff in the sex goo drawer that I kind of want to break off.
All right.
So, do you remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about that bodybuilder?
Yep.
There was a bodybuilder who had what was the story exactly? A bodybuilder?
I think he kept breaking his sex dolls.
Yeah. So I don't think we clicked that one.
No, we didn't.
But there's new news about this man.
I think I may have seen it. I'm not going to say it. Is it?
Okay, well, I'm going to read it for you, but okay. I am not understanding why this is news, and I really think we should click it because there's multiple news articles about this. Bodybuilder cheats on sex doll wife with object while she gets repaired.
With object? I didn't see the object. I saw that headline, and I was going to send it to you and be like, hey, this is that guy we talked about. And then I just forgot about it because I've got so much bullshit to send you guys. I never get
Now, I saw a picture of him. The dude is in good shape. I did not see the object. I didn't like dive into it too well. I did see his wife.
Yeah.
Sex doll.
Yeah.
The thing about this is there is the world of man having sex with doll wife, right?
Sure.
There's that's that world, right? Mm-hmm. And that's sort of face value weird. It's like, okay, haha. Yeah. The weirder thing is, why are we hearing about it?
Yeah. Like, why is that news? We ask that a lot. Like, why are we, with everything going on in the world, is that like a thing? Is that like a type of news where people are like, okay, there's so much, people are tired of hearing about the fucking election or Trump or Biden or like what, the world, whatever it is. So they give you, hey, I heard about this, like a fluff piece. And then what they call it.
Yeah, it is a fluff piece. Do you think it's not even news? Like, they didn't seek this out. This guy didn't like make anything. Like, someone just knew. Like, I think that's what we discussed last time. It was just someone knew this guy.
Yeah.
It was like, I got this buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's got to be what it is.
It's got to be something like that.
Man, he cheats on his sex doll. Is that cheating? If you're going to go through the rigmarole of marrying a sex doll, yeah, I would say it probably is.
But there's no other consciousness there. So all you're cheating on is your own mind. You're cheating on your own delusion.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because if it was another person, sure. Yeah. But that's not a real thing. Man cheats on object with other object. What? That'd be like jerking off with your left hand and being like, oh, sorry, right hand, I cheated on you.
But the thing is, though, it'd be more like you married your right hand. Like, you got someone to do the paperwork that you married, like, because there's an idea, I'm sure you're familiar with this, in art of like when you draw something and you keep everything straight. When you make something not straight, it looks weird because you've set up the rules of this is all straight.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a saying in art of like, don't set up rules you can't, because then you have to follow them. Mm-hmm. This guy married a sex doll, so now he can't fuck anything else because that's cheating.
Yeah, he made up his own rules.
Yeah, well, don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not fucking Batman. Like,
what?
Remember where
man cheats on Batman?
No.
Flash blow up doll. So speaking of marrying things, I actually just got an email. I a long time ago, for shits and giggles, I got ordained.
Yeah.
By a website called Open Ministry, and like you give them a little bit of money and they'll do the paperwork, whatever. Mm-hmm. But they're trying to grift me, man, because I haven't like emailed them or stayed in touch. They're like, we require all of our ministers to stay in regular communion and update all information such as your name, blah blah blah. Any account which becomes dormant for too long will become delinquent. It may be subject to denouncement of your ordination status. They're going to take it away from me, man.
What? I mean, in all honesty, how many times have you used it? You married me on the street. You didn't marry me.
I married you to your, yeah.
Yeah.
over a big pizza, if I remember.
Yeah.
That I believe our friend Bobo stole.
Yeah. And then we dropped it. That was the whole thing.
Excuse me. You dropped it.
Yeah.
Do you remember dropping it?
Yeah.
Because I remember being so disappointed. Like, come on.
Yeah. It was a delicious
Well, it was
pizza.
a comically big pizza.
It was.
Well, we say that he stole it, but what he did is there was a huge line of drunk people waiting for pizza. And our friend Bobo just walked into the store, put a $20 bill on the counter, took the first pizza on the counter, and just walked out. And the guy was like, well.
Yeah.
No, it stopped him.
Yeah, he ended up talking to the cop about something.
BlackBerry or
modding his phone or doing something, or jailbreaking his iPhone or something. Hey, you know what we're doing right now?
Raspberry Pi. I think.
We're bantering, guys.
God damn it. Also in sex doll news, Chinese man who got engaged to sex doll, which apparently, I mean, there's a bunch of people out there getting engaged to sex dolls.
I don't see why you need to marry it.
Just sad dudes, man.
Why do you need to marry it?
What? Again, you get the milk for free.
Yeah. Well, we've already talked about that. But that you've got something that's taking up real estate in your house.
Well, dude, this gets to another degree, man.
Uh-oh.
He got engaged to sex doll, welcomes baby doll into his family.
Oh no. Whoa.
Does his family visit him, you think? Or does he have dolls of them? Does he talk to the pictures of them? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, how far does it go? So he had a sex doll that he then married, and then to take it to the next level, he gets a baby doll to pretend it's a little baby.
Do you think you get like bigger and bigger dolls?
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, how far does it go? And how much money are you sinking into this?
I think, man, I mean, the bachelor life, it's not very expensive. That money adds up.
If you start buying fake people.
I'm not seeing any of it.
Yeah,
He's not feeding them. He's just he's not fucking the doll, I don't think. The baby.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Can you imagine, like, what kind of life? I mean, it's just sad. It's sad, and it's lonely, and it's desperate.
Well, I've seen one. It was like I think a Japanese guy. It was a big thing there, too. And it was, I watched this, like, documentary. And it was just all the people like that. And there's a ton of them in Japan, apparently. I'm sure they're everywhere.
Oh.
But this guy had a whole room in his apartment that just had bunk beds in it. Each one just had a doll, like a different sex doll in it. He had like 11 of them. He had all these bunk beds in his apartment and he was like, some days I hang out with this one, and then other times I get her down from the top bunk. And it was just like, what in the world?
Why would you?
Like his whole house was just full of like sex dolls.
I could understand having sex with a doll.
Sure.
I'm a dude. I get it, right? Friction. I get it. Yeah. But what I don't understand, the part that I don't understand is having sex with a doll in replacement of
forever. Because
forever. That's the thing. Like signing up for that forever. You know what I mean? Because I would venture a guess that having a sex doll kind of locks the door on future romantic partners.
Yeah, because if you got one, if you manage to meet a woman, I imagine at that point you're not even trying.
No, right. There's an idea in Japan. Again, we talk about Japanese people. Is hikikomori, people like shut in, lock in, they just do work, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also that women will like give up. They say, I'm not even a woman. I'm just a person now. Like I hung up the mantle of woman. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not in trying to go for men. I'm not interested in sexual relations or romantic or anything. I'm not a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's that idea of like I'm not even trying.
Yeah.
And I think the dudes do that too.
Yeah, but you just get a doll. But because once you've got the doll, if you didn't give up and you happen to meet somebody, then you've got to sneak that thing out of the house before. But then it's like an investment. They're thousands of dollars. So this is bizarre.
I don't know how often does the doll person then pierce the veil? Like how often do they get past their own? You know what I mean? The guy who ordered the doll has the doll in his house, has a room with bunk beds all set up for different dolls. Then meet a woman.
Right.
That's got to be very rare.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But there's someone out there for everyone, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of fucking kooky, crazy people, and they're fine.
Yeah.
Like the most important thing, and this is the problem with those hikikomori, the doll people. The only metric that matters in finding a woman is putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you're into, whatever. There is someone for you. But if you're not even out there,
right.
Listen, there's children. There are little children who listen to this podcast. Let me speak.
Where's this going?
All you got to do,
listen to me, little boy.
is just put yourself out there. Say you have a sex doll, cool. You'll find a woman who that's cool with. But if you don't, if you stay at home with the sex doll, you never will.
Yeah. If there's anything of it, dude, the internet is just a vast place. Just go on the internet and you'll find hundreds of people that are into exactly what the fuck you're into.
I found a really funny tweet that said something like, all of my relationships go where I like slowly reveal my personality until they either say, oh, cool, you're a furry, or, oh shit, are you a furry? That made me laugh so because like if you're really into that and you've got to like ease it into the relationship, there is a break or make or break point where they're like, what's this now?
Yeah, wait, hold up. Yeah.
What have I gotten into?
Yeah, exactly. Whew, man.
Okay, there's one more here in sex goo. This one's wild. This one's wild because even though I'm just going to read it and then I'm going to say what I'm about to say. Malawi man, if I remember correctly, they have a problem with vampires. Deep cut. Do you remember the Malawi vampires?
Yes. They thought they had to withdraw. There was like a humanitarian effort there, like what's it called? Not Greenpeace,
the UN,
but
the UN
was
there,
and they had to they had to withdraw the UN peacekeepers because they were like, or the reliefs, whatever, humanitarian support, because they're afraid they're going to be killed for being accused of being vampires.
Yeah, that was a headline that kept coming up for like a couple of weeks, and it was making us laugh.
Yeah, and
then I think we read into it, and it was still funny, but it was crazy. Anyway, yeah. Malawi. This is a little bit more chuckle fucky than that. Malawi man dies after. This is a little more chuckle fucky. Malawi man dies after extreme orgasm with sex worker.
What?
Let me tell you, man. I'm gonna say right out here. I'm gonna put it on the podcast. If I die that way, do not press charges.
Yeah, let me go.
I mean, if an extreme orgasm kills me,
of the ways to go out, yeah, bravo. Of all the ways to go out, that's got to be the best. That's got to be one of the best.
Put my will. That sex worker gets everything. You give it all to them. In extreme, can you imagine?
No, I mean
the pleasure.
It was so good it fucking killed you. Imagine putting that on your resume too as a sex worker. Be like, listen, man.
I wouldn't be. I mean, I'd be like, shit, I killed the guy, but I'm like, yeah. God, do you know how I killed him?
Yeah, exactly. But like, play at your own risk, boys. Like,
God, I bet you. Holy shit, dude! I bet you that sells itself.
Yeah,
that lady was booked the rest of the fucking month.
I was gonna say, I bet people were lining up after that, just being like, oh, she's so fucking awesome. She killed a dude. Like. That's how stupid dudes
That's
are.
how dumb.
Yeah.
Dude, no, exactly. There's a great Greg Giraldo debate. Talks about like, women always say like, we're horny too. We get horny too. And he's like, you're not horny like men. He's like, oh yeah, we're horny. And he says, I saw a worker at a Sears take the panties off of a mannequin, and I had to go find a bathroom and jerk off. It's like the hottest thing I'd seen that whole year. Like we're just animals on a level that women just can't understand. Like, if someone had sex to death, in our heads we go, well, we want to fuck that person too.
Well, we want to see. Yeah, that's exactly what that just happened. We were immediately like, yeah, the people were lining up because we're stupid.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was? Well, extreme orgasm makes me think she did something special. But was it just he had a heart attack, or like he had like a?
It's probably something like that. If he just died in the middle of a crazy orgasm.
There's got to be like, I mean, I know there's
they don't say how old he was or any, you know what I mean? We don't know anything about this dude.
It's just a headline. Yeah, right. We don't know yet. We could click it.
No, facts just get in the way.
Maybe he was a fucking vampire.
Wait, hold on. Was Malawi the place where they were going around thinking that bald people had gold in their head?
Oh my God. I think that might have been.
It was somewhere in Africa, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was. What is going on with Malawi?
Malawi. That one was, I'm pretty sure that episode was called Bald Man's Gold. And
something like that.
We talked about, I'm wanting to say that might have been in Malawi. It was somewhere around there where people were like, they killed a guy because he was bald because they thought he had gold in his head. And it was like freaking
inside his head. Yeah.
Everybody was like pretending to wear hair and stuff because if they were bald, because people suddenly got the idea that bald people had gold inside their head. I mean, what
world? I mean, I don't know that I could convince a child that was true. Like what is going on in Africa? Not even Africa, like in Asia and stuff. You hear these people are just so ready to believe, like in the Netherlands or Iceland, there are elves. In Asia, you grind up on a fucking animal and it's going to cure your genital warts. Like, why are people so ready to accept that stuff?
I don't know. Well, one thing, like I watched this YouTube channel that's super entertaining to me. It's called Tribal People Try. And they take people from like Afghanistan and like Kazakhstan and like just like tribal people, and have them eat like lasagna for the first time, or like Seriously.
I blow the dick off of someone. Holy shit! Can you imagine? You never even heard of like Italian food? And you give them a fucking lasagna. They're like, whoa, what these?
Yeah. Every episode, they're like, "This is lasagna," and the guy will be like, "Lasagna," and they're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh." And he'll take a bite and be like, "Hoi, hoi, 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 blessed, praise God, it's the best thing I've ever eaten." Like everything they eat, it's like, praise God, that's so good.
Lasagna is one of those things that even bad lasagna is worth to fuck around with. You know, like I'll eat lasagna out of a frozen dinner. Like lasagna is basically always a good dish.
Yeah, like everything, man. Like a Kinder egg, like a Kinder surprise egg, and
there's one guy back to back that just blowing his like they must like
there's like 3 or 4
time it out.
Yeah, well, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and each episode, it's just filming them eating a new thing. Like, I'll have to link you some because
link this to me. Yeah,
it's really entertaining because oh my god, the best one, I think one of my favorites is they gave them astronaut food, and them just trying to wrap their head around the concept of outer space was unbelievable.
Where are they getting these people? Who are them? Who are they? What's these?
They're just people from tribes in like Afghanistan, like tribal people who live in like the mountains and stuff in Afghanistan. Huh. They've just like brought them in, and I guess they're paying them, I'm guessing, and people are. This one guy at the start of this, like 6 months ago, he didn't have any teeth, so there were certain things he couldn't participate in because he didn't have any teeth. And he's kind of a young guy, but he was like, "Yeah, I messed my teeth up when I was younger, and I don't really have any teeth. I've got like a couple in the back." People on YouTube pitched in a bunch of money and bought this motherfucker new teeth.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. God is good.
Yeah, and they did a whole video of him just like thanking everybody and like him showing his teeth, and then he was like eating a hamburger, being like, "I could never eat a hamburger."
That rules.
Which he'd never had a hamburger. So first off, he'd never had one.
No, I'm sure, yeah.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool, and everybody sent him like Christmas gifts and like all this stuff, and it's just like blowing their mind. Like they're like the most thankful.
I would say probably there is a happy medium between their lifestyle and ours. Like I would say that we're on different ends of a spectrum where neither is healthy. Did you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No one really needs lasagna. You could do without lasagna.
You could do without a lot of stuff. You could do without a Kinder surprise egg.
Oh yeah,
more than you could do without lasagna.
Can you imagine I get it, and I live in this world, and I get it. But the fact that there's toys inside a Kinder surprise egg does kind of blow my mind. So then bring that to someone who doesn't know chocolate, doesn't understand like
right.
And then okay, yeah. This food has toys inside.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of alien craziness are you talking about?
Yeah. And then like trying to be like, this is this food that they eat in space. And they were like, space. And he's like, so on the moon? And he's like, so people that are living on the moon eat this food. And they're like, no, nobody's living on the moon. And they're like, oh. And they're like,
yeah, the reality is harder to explain. Like, we haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah. But they gave him like freeze dried strawberries or something. And the guy was like, just blowing his fucking mind. But yeah, it's big wholesome vibes. Like it's good. It's good. It's like when I've watched a bunch of people explode, I'm like, let's see what these motherfuckers are eating this week.
Speaking of, because we're talking about food stuff. Let's break it to not news / fast food, and then we'll close it up.
Okay, here we go. Nice little segue.
This one cracks.
Oh wait.
What?
We got to do a fan submitted one, at least one.
Oh shit.
Because people have actually been sending us stuff, and then we're not doing them.
We're always sure. Well, Pill Paulson, super fan, mega fan.
Yeah.
With us from the beginning. He said this one about Russia's sausage king killed with crossbow in a sauna, but we talked about that. That would have ruled.
Yeah.
He also said North Dakota politician who died from coronavirus wins the House race. What the hell?
After he died?
He died and then he won. So what do you do then? Like,
yeah.
I guess
so all that was just for nothing. So you got to do the whole voting thing again?
I guess, yeah. I mean, also, how slow is news go out and not, like, the guy's dead. Take him off the ballot. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't get how that happened.
Also...
He died? Yeah, because he died, then won. Yeah, my guy died.
Unless it happened my guy died. I got a rock. Also, Zach, producer of the show, sent us one. I think we talked about this. Did we talk about the first preserved dinosaur butthole? Did we talk about dinosaur buttholes? I think we did.
No. I don't think we did. Did we?
It's the grease man at this point in the game. I mean, this is really evolved. We're in the end game of this podcast in a way, because you take something like preserved dinosaur butthole and I go, well, I mean, enough of those keywords seem like something.
Yeah. And what's funny is like, because I honestly have a hard time remembering what we talk about from week to week. So, but every now and then, like the Malawi stuff, like when you bring it up, then I remember it.
Right.
But that's not ringing a bell. Preserved preserved in what way? How do you preserve a butthole?
First, preserved dinosaur butthole is perfect and unique. Paleontologist
Perfect
says.
and unique. A perfect unique.
I think it is. Aren't our buttholes?
I think they're like fingerprints. Yeah. I think they are. I think we learned that at some point because we on one of the, remember how we used to do the weird products on like Amazon or something?
Yeah.
And we found the thing where you could get like a bronzed cast of your butthole.
Oh, which actually was, I mean, when you know what it is, it's gross, but it actually had an interesting look.
Yeah, it looked cool, but then you're like, that's my butthole. And you're like, oh, I would have never seen that.
And it's like bigger than a clock. Wasn't it really big?
I remember you could get little ones that went on your desk.
Imagine having that as a ring.
It's my butthole ring.
I am kind of into weird, crazy fucking performance art kind of jewelry, you know? Like those shark skin gloves and stuff, or like the...
That you could never take off?
The human skin ring.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. That's a worth a deep dive. I don't even remember what the name of that
episode
was.
It's been a while back. It was several years ago. But there was this weird performance. Where was it, you'd say? Was it Norway or...
Iceland, I want to say.
Iceland. And he's this artist who would make stuff out of his own skin. And then he made these shark gloves made out of a type of shark skin that you could put them on. They slid onto your hand, but the way the shark skin is made, you can't pull them off again.
You have to get them surgically removed, yeah.
Yeah, the only way to get them off is to cut the gloves off. And they were like thousands of dollars, and they're like God. One of a kind. So there's somebody walking around with this stinky ass glove on their hand that they could never take off, man.
That's like, dude, the Real Human Leather, realhumanleather.com, whatever it was. That was one of the crazy.
That's one of the shadiest websites. That's one of the shadiest things I've ever run into.
That was a whole episode.
Yeah, they were so vague about how they're like, no, listen, it's legal. It's legal. Well, how's it legal? And they're like, don't worry about it.
They gave money to the there was people who were terminally ill.
Yeah.
And they gave the money from the product to the families of the bereaved families
for their skin. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's worth it. I love when we find stuff like that where we just can't even believe.
Yeah.
You know?
Just the other day, I saw a thing about the Chinese giant cockroach factory. Then that thing always blows my mind.
Oh, again, right. That does. It blows mine too.
It started blowing my mind. I was telling a friend John and Jordan about it, and just thinking about it and like looking into it again. I'm like, that is insane. The actual numbers on it was like they grow more cockroaches in a year than there are humans on the planet. And it's all controlled and managed by an AI they developed. Like, it's insane.
It is insane. I mean, that's one of those things you can't think about too much.
Yeah, because you're just like, how, what? Just the sheer scope of it. And yeah.
Let's break off a couple fast food news.
Okay.
A couple fast food news. And then, I mean, this one cracks me up, dude. I can't wait to talk about this. Boar's Head cheese no longer melts, and customers are not happy. What?
Boar's Head. Oh, the brand. There's a brand of deli meats and cheeses called Boar's Head.
Right. I knew that. So they made this brand of cheese called Boar's Head cheese.
Well, it took me a second because I was like, Boar's Head cheese. Like, and I was thinking like actual cheese or head cheese made out of a boar's head. It took me a second to get there. I'm a little slow.
You ever meet my friend Kim? Maybe you met her. My friend Kim in Florida.
Yeah.
She was like heir to the Boar's Head throne.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cheese doesn't melt anymore. Like, how you mess that up?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain cheeses that are harder to melt than others, but if they've melted, that means they've got some synthetic something in there, right?
Right, and of course customers aren't happy. Like, if your cheese doesn't melt, like that's kind of most of the point of cheese, if you ask me.
Right.
How often do you put cheese on anything that, like a sandwich maybe is okay if it doesn't melt?
Yeah, that would be fine. But if you're wanting melted cheese, because there's certain types of cheddars or something, like, because I've gotten certain types of like cheese before that I just know I've run into that before. Like, I've tried to make like a hot ham and cheese sandwich and used like some kind of cheese that it won't fucking melt. The whole sandwich is like nuclear, and that the cheese is barely melted. It's like, okay,
right?
Like, what is with this cheese?
Oh man, I do love a nice hot provolone. Ooh, I haven't had a good provolone in a long time.
I went on a big kick. I went on a kick there for a while. I don't know what it was. It's like that Carl Pilkington thing where he's like, there's something in it that my body needed, and it made me crave it. It was just late, super late one night, and I was trying to go to sleep. But it was one of the things where I'd stayed up way too long, and I'd gotten hungry again.
Oh, sure.
But I didn't want to eat, really, because I was getting ready to go to bed. But then I couldn't fall asleep because I was hungry. So I was like, fuck. And I didn't really have anything here.
A vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's catch-22. I didn't have anything really here to eat. So I went and looked. I was like, what do I have? Because I don't want to order food at like 4 a.m. So I looked, and all I had some bread, some cheese, just like sandwich cheese, and there was mayonnaise in there. So I made a fucking cheese sandwich. And something about that triggered something in my brain. I'm not even a big fan of mayonnaise. And like for like the next several days, I was like craving those cheese sandwiches, just bread and cheese with mayonnaise on it. And they were so fucking good to me. And I have no idea why. Like it's not something... It's like not something I've ever eaten before. I don't remember ever eating just a cheese sandwich, but I was like, this is
how much? You just put a slice of cheese, or how were you like loading it up?
No. It was just because all I was doing was taking 2 pieces of bread, putting a slice of cheese, and squirting a little bit of mayo on there.
What the hell?
And it was like something about that was just hitting. Yeah, I don't know. And for like a week, every day I was like, man, I want a cheese sandwich. And now it's gone. Like I don't really want, like thinking about it now, I'm like, nah, I don't want any. But I don't know what it was. Something in me wanted cheese and mayonnaise sandwiches. And I was like, what's happening?
I get that with peanut butter sometimes, man. You see me clown down at peanut butter.
Is that what happens with pregnant women? Like they just get like crazy cravings like that? Because, you hear about people like eating peanut butter and pickles and stuff?
I think so. Can you hear me?
There, okay. Yeah, you're back. I can hear you now.
Okay. The hell? Why does it do that? It's China. I bet you it's China, man. They heard us talk about that guy's sex doll. They heard us talk about their cockroach farm.
Yeah. They're already worried about getting fucking bombed.
Can you imagine? We've joked about this before, but can you imagine the bullets would be sweating if we were in a courtroom and they started reading back transcripts from this fucking podcast to us?
Yeah. Be like, oh shit.
Like, yeah, I mean, I did say that. Take me away, I guess, because I can't fucking. What am I gonna say? Yeah,
yeah.
I did say those things.
Yeah, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of nonsense of this podcast. And if somebody went through it, like pick it out, it's like people give Joe Rogan shit. Certain, you hear people being like, oh, he shouldn't give that person a platform because that person's a shithead, or like he'll say, it's like he's high as shit.
Sure, we just made our own.
Yeah, and it's like so it's like. Who knows what the fuck we've said on this podcast? Like, I could never run for political office.
If someone picked through it and it turned out to be illegal, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know that. We're just talking shit.
For a long time.
A long time.
Yeah, we were young men and now we're old men.
And none the wiser.
Yeah, not even a little, man. Time has marched away from us. Let's do one more fast food one. This one cracks me up. McDonald's UK customer enraged as delivery boy cancels order and eats it outside her home.
That's hilarious.
The gall. God, dude, that's so funny.
What went down? Like, what made him? There's something. Maybe that delivery boy had some kind of run-in with this person before. We're like, oh, it's these people again. These people are fucking assholes. I'm gonna sit out here and just eat them.
I agree. I would say they're not completely innocent.
Yeah, I agree. There's probably something up there, or the person was just like, fuck McDonald's. I'm not, and that was their way of quitting, and also. Because that's really funny.
We've joked about this before, about the idea of you get hired at McDonald's and just while they're training you, just eat as much as you can until they fire you. You could probably get a lot in you.
Yeah. There was something, was that something on the show, maybe in Practical Jokers or something like that, where the guy just dressed up, or a story I heard or something where if a guy maybe used to work at like an Arby's or McDonald's or something, and he had his old uniform and he just went in to a random McDonald's or something and said he was the district manager and just went in there and he had a uniform and everything. So they were like, oh, okay. So he just goes in and like knew what he was talking about. So like, okay, this guy works there. He knows what he's talking about. And he just came in and like got a bunch of food and like told him a bunch of stuff and left. And they were like, they thought it was like like a manager or something coming in and nobody questioned him.
I mean, that's not exactly that's not a tight safe to crack.
No, not at all.
It's not the best. And I mean, no disrespect to people who work at McDonald's. It's a fine gig, but like, it's not the CIA,
right? Yeah. Well, I think a guy just stole some free food off me the other day.
No way.
I ordered. I don't know, but I can't figure out why this happened. I ordered some food through Food Panda, which is like Uber Eats or whatever. Yeah. And I was waiting on it, and it shows the guys. It's like he'll be here in a minute. And then it shows it's like your food is arriving soon. And on the map, it showed the guy was right outside. So I went and like hit the buzzer just in case he was out there to open the door. And I'm like looking off the balcony and I don't see anybody. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden I come back in here and that's actually tied to Zach's account because when we lived together, like he set it up.
Right.
And they'd sent him an email or a text message saying like, your order's been canceled. And then the dude just left. And I was like, he didn't ring the buzzer. There's a message thing on the thing where if they could message you and be like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
They didn't send me anything. So the dude just like didn't ring the buzzer and the door was open.
So, but what happens then? The guy who has to pay for it? Like, what happens to the food?
I don't know how it works. Like, what happens to the food? I mean, I'm sure they don't take it back to the restaurants. I don't really know. I don't know what happens, but that dude made zero effort to let me know. Like, I had no clue he was here.
Huh.
I guess maybe that dude just went and ate my food.
Food Panda Taiwan customer enraged as delivery boy cancels order and eats it outside his home.
Exactly. I think that's I'm that person.
That's you. Are you enraged?
I'm enraged.
Let's click one of these, man. Do we want to learn about our boy, the bodybuilder? Do we want to learn about this extreme orgasm? What do we want to do?
Oh man, there's some good ones in there.
I don't care about the boar's head cheese, I would say.
Nah.
There's the UK customer enraged, the McDonald's boy, but there's something up there.
Yeah, there's something up there, but I feel we're not going to learn anything. It's just going to be...
Bodybuilder cheats on sex doll wife with object. We can learn what the object is, but otherwise there's nothing really there.
There's nothing really there other than the object. If we think it's like a fleshlight or something.
Extreme orgasm. I feel like Malawi is extreme. I mean, we owe it to Malawi at this point.
We owe it, because Malawi seems to be one of those dark corners of the world that you could still explore. Like, I think there's gold in people's head and people are turning into vampires.
Let's play the card. Oh, damn. Malawi man dies after extreme orgasm with sex worker. The 35-year-old man died from too much sexual excitement. Now, that's not the same, as dying from an extreme orgasm.
No.
Would you agree, Your Honor?
I would agree. And he's still a young man, 35.
35, yeah. That's between you and me. Yeah. During a bedroom romp with a sex worker, an autopsy has found.
Romp.
A man died from extreme orgasm after passing out while he romped with a sex worker.
Romped.
Romp.
They're loving the word romp.
He lost consciousness.
And she kept at it?
He died shortly after doing the deed. Postmortem officially determined the cause of death was excessive orgasm.
And that's
cause of death.
That's not
what?
That's not an official cause of death. Maybe it is in Malawi. That's not is that official? There's got to be, but what?
Cause of death, excessive orgasm. Medical examiner viewed the body, confirmed the cause of death.
I mean,
the cause of death.
It's got to be your heart stopped or like something.
No, man, listen. They go into it. This is an article that delivers. This one delivers. Usually they don't. They'll just say that stuff and then go, stamp it.
Yeah.
It's been me.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Postmortem listed the cause of death as being due to excessive orgasm, which caused blood vessels in the brain to rupture.
Damn.
God. Wow. Take me, Lord.
She literally blew his mind.
Cops confirmed the woman would not be held liable for Mr. Majawa's death. Awesome.
Yeah.
They also added that no charges would be made related to his death.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, according to the local newspaper, the man died of too much sexual excitement and sweetness. Oh, that sweetness got him.
Sweetness? She's real sweet.
Oh, that's sweetness. She sucked the dick right out of his head. Meanwhile,
what?
Meanwhile, a study suggests that having sex at least once a week actually halves the risk of early death. Okay, they went on a tangent at the end. Goddamn tangent at the researchers found, again, regular romps. I believe the name of this episode is going to be Regular Romps because they love
regular romps.
They're throwing the word out romp anytime they get a chance. Researchers have found that regular romps are linked to lower odds of dying from cancer, heart disease, and other illnesses. They say a workout between the sheets is equivalent to moderate intensity exercise. Sex feels really... They're just telling us why sex is good. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, all right, right on.
I don't need to be sold on it. I get it.
Yeah. You don't have to tell me twice. But I guess it's like anything. Too much of a good thing will fucking kill you.
Too much love will kill you. All right, that's going to do it for us this week.
Yeah.
Well, we stuck to the formula, and you know what? We had a good time doing it.
That had a good time. We only tangented 2 or 3 times.
Did I lose you again?
Nope. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. What's going to do it for us this week? I want to go ahead and thank Kishibashi for letting us use the song Intro/Pathos off the album 151A. I want to thank Pill Paulson for submitting those 2 headlines.
Yeah.
And also for sticking with us all these years, man. You're a fucking superstar.
Yeah, trooper.
Real trooper. If you guys want to send us headlines, and you should, you guys can do that at Royal WeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. You guys can also join us live at twitch.tv/Royal WeCast, which I just remembered we do, but I did not do.
What's funny is I thought in the beginning to bring it up, and then I was like,
I just forget something. We've done hundreds of hours without it, and then I just went into the fucking motions, and I forgot that we're doing that. Don't go to Malawi, or do.
Not if you're bald. And I lost you. I lost you at the very end.
No,
okay.
I know. I don't know what's up with Discord. I don't know what's giving us a whole bunch of trouble. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing.
Well, that's gonna do it for us. All right, good night, Dad.
Goodbye. How do you preserve a butthole?